Are we the final version, or just a draft of something older? As we dive into human evolution, the Hidden Files project begins to question the very existence and origin of humans. Not just how we exist, but why we exist in this exact form. Because when we look at the human body, the brain, the emotions, the instincts, it almost feels too structured, too refined, too tested. So the question is simple: are humans the final result of evolution, or just one step in a much larger process we don't fully understand yet? But first, human life begins when a sperm cell fertilizes an egg cell during sexual reproduction. This creates a zygote, which starts dividing into many cells. Over time, it forms an embryo, then a fetus, developing organs, brain, and body structure inside the womb. After around 9 months, the baby is born through childbirth. A full human life starting from a single microscopic cell, turning into a conscious being capable of thinking about its own existence. And now, in 1859, a man named Charles Darwin published one of the most controversial books in history on the origin of species. He introduced the idea of natural selection. The concept was simple but powerful. Living beings compete for survival. The strongest or most adapted survive. Traits that help survival are passed on. Over millions of years, species change. Another scientist, Alfred Russel Wallace, came to similar conclusions independently. But this idea created a storm because it suggested something shocking. Humans are not separate from nature. Humans are part of the animal kingdom. Humans evolved like every other species. And suddenly, the question of identity changed forever. Our ancestors. The forgotten line. Let's go deeper into the timeline. Around 6 to 7 million years ago, the human line split from a common ancestor shared with chimpanzees. We did not start as humans. We started as something else. Australopithecus, around 4 million years ago, famous fossil, Lucy, 1974, Ethiopia, walked upright, but still had small brain Homo habilis, around 2.4 million years ago, known as handyman. First simple stone tools, Homo erectus, around 1.9 million years ago, used fire. First to migrate out of Africa, Homo sapiens, around 300,000 years ago, modern humans. Complex language, culture, imagination. But here's the disturbing part. There is no single moment where one species suddenly became another. It was slow, gradual, blurry. So the question becomes, at what exact point does something stop being almost human and become human? No one can answer that clearly. And now the missing links and the gaps science has built a strong timeline, but it is not complete. There are still gaps, fossils that don't fully connect sudden appearances of traits, disputed interpretations, changing timelines as new discoveries appear. Every decade, new evidence slightly rewrites the story, and that leads to a deeper thought. If evolution is fully understood, why does the story keep changing? Is it because we are discovering more, or because the full picture is still missing? Have you heard of the human brain paradox? Well, let me tell you what is it exactly. One of the biggest mysteries is not bones. It is the brain. The human brain can imagine things that don't exist, can question its own existence, can create language, art, music, technology, can even study the universe it lives in. No other species shows this level of abstract thinking. So another question appears. Did intelligence slowly evolve, or did something switch on at some point in history? Science says gradual development, but the leap from early humans to modern civilization feels extremely fast in evolutionary terms. And one of the most famous paradoxes, Scientists answer, the egg came first. Why? Because eggs existed long before chickens. A mutation inside an egg produced the first true chicken. But let's question it deeper. If the egg came from a not chicken, and only a chicken can come from a chicken egg, then where does identity begin? At what exact genetic change does almost become real? Evolution doesn't draw lines. It draws gradients, and nature doesn't label anything. The bigger question is, when we zoom out, something becomes strange. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Life has existed for billions of years, and yet, humans appear very recently, almost like a late experiment in Earth's timeline. So we ask, if evolution is random survival, why did intelligence appear so strongly in one species? Is humanity the result of pure chance? Science says chance plus time plus selection. But mystery says, what if we are only seeing the part of the story? The file remains open. Human evolution is one of the most powerful scientific theories ever created, but it is also one of the most questioned, because every answer leads to another question. Eve I.